Are we heading into a crypto winter? And is this the first time that Bitcoin has topped out without us getting an on-risk rally as far as altcoins are concerned? Without us getting an alt season? We expected alt season in 2025. We wanted a drop in dominance. We wanted a breakout of the Russell 2000. We wanted a breakout of Total 3. We wanted many metrics to confirm that we were going to have an alt season. And unfortunately, it hasn't happened yet. But is it the end of the cycle? Because something's happened now that's happened previously before. And we go back to President Trump's previous cycle. So is it the end of the cycle, or is this just one massive manipulation, capitulation event, which is created by Mr. Trump that resets the leverage, wipes out the weak hands, and then allows the market to move? So we had the big crash yesterday. When you look at Bitcoin, the crash is insignificant to what happened to the altcoins. But one thing, as far as the altcoins are concerned, is we got a big buy up, a big buy up, a big buy up. As we started crashing down, people started getting confidence. The buy orders started eating up and eating up. And then we ended up about halfway, indecision. So we need to look, we need to analyze. Are we going to get further downside going into next week as far as altcoins are concerned? And should we be worried with Bitcoin, or like I say, is this one massive manipulation event? Because we started the day here 120,000, 120,000, and it went all the way down, and landed at 106,000 at one point, and then the bulls bought it back up. This is a 3-day chart. Each one of these candles represents 3 days of price action. So we're at 111,000. But what I want to talk about is this trick here. And this is why I say manipulation, capitulation, because this isn't the first time it's happened. So you've got China threat here. What happened? Bitcoin dropped. Bitcoin sneezed, altcoins caught a cold, altcoins got absolutely annihilated. What about this? Government shutdown. So you've got your government shutdown, you're running into the government shutdown, bam, China tariff, manipulation, bam, to the downside, altcoins smashed. Leverage has been wiped out. Lots of people have done lots of bad things. It's hit people hard. And this is a reminder to each and every single one of you, risk management is the key. Portfolio diversification is the key. And that's what I teach on this channel. So government shutdown, China tariff threat. What about Mr. Trump's last term? Let's have a look. We've got March the 1st announcement of steel and aluminium tariffs. Trump announced plans for a 25% tariff on steel and a 10% tariff on aluminium imports, targeting countries like China, Canada, and Mexico. So we could just zoom into this area here. We can see exactly what happened when he announced this. I can look from the top here to the downside. That's a 34% crash. Doesn't look much there. It's a 34% crash. What happened? We got a big rally on the back of it. So Trump announced the tariffs here. We got a crash in the market, and then that was followed by a rally. Now, what I was talking about with the shutdown in the previous cycle, which created the end of the cycle, this is this. So a partial US government shutdown started due to a funding dispute over Trump's proposed border wall with Mexico, lasting 35 days. So it lasted 35 days. What happened to the market? Absolutely smashed. This was the end of the market. 66% to the downside. So the market recovered 66% to the downside. And then what happened? 65% to the upside. Escalation of US-China trade war. Trump threatens to raise tariffs on 200 billion of Chinese goods. So are we at this stage? Where we're getting the threat, getting the drop, and it's going to be followed by a rally? Or is it going to be at this stage where it's going to be the end of the cycle? Why do I think it's not the end of the cycle? This is why. Because we had that drop yesterday. Let's stick this on the daily. What happened on Total 3? It come all the way down here, 764 billion. 764 billion. It was bought back up, and it has just breached the 1 trillion once again. So this is positive. This was bought back up. This showed strength. You look at the Russell 2000. I said, this is likely to come down, hold support here, gain momentum as the indicators start pulling back, and then have enough momentum to be able to push through the big barrier that it's been trying to overcome, which is $2,500. That's what we're waiting for on the Russell 2000, and that is really going to be an indication of on risk. Bitcoin dominance. What happened? This told us a story. What was the story? Story was that Bitcoin was outperforming. People were flooding into Bitcoin because Bitcoin is the least risk asset. What happened then? What happened then at this point here? This is the story we're going to tell. This wick was pushed back. It was pushed back and it was pushed back into this trend. So whilst that happened, total 3 was getting bought up. Bitcoin dominance was losing traction. That was good. So although that people were scared, as we started dropping like a falling knife, then people started getting conviction. People have got limit orders at low levels. When these limit orders get hit, it creates a surge. And that surge has an effect on the Bitcoin dominance because it's buying altcoins, reducing the dominance of Bitcoin, increasing the dominance of altcoins. As they start rotating out of the stable coins after the fear, after they've sold, start buying back at higher levels. That's what happens here. So all of these charts collectively, guys, we're going to look at the S&P. S&P could come back down further. It could hold support at this level. We just need to monitor that. Over the next few days are going to be the most important days within the crypto market because we're going to understand exactly which direction the cycle is going to go. Is the government shutdown going to finish? Are we going to get any kind of catalyst that's going to drive the market? We need to look, we need to analyze, and we need to prepare for this. I'm not calling the end of the cycle. There's a lot of things that need to happen for me to call the end of the cycle. And I'm not concerned until we start taking out these higher lows here. So for me, we're in a range. We're in a range. As long as we're in this range, I'm not calling the end of the cycle. Let me know in the comments if you found this video useful. Get yourself in the Discord group. It is completely free. Link in the description below. Looks like they're having a bit of fun in there this morning. My bags, a little bit like my bags too, Bully, to be honest with you at the moment. But right, okay, take care of yourself. Goodbye from me.